and thank you so much again for tuning in at BA Studio TV. Today at our 4th episode, my name is Birgit, and we have a very special guest today. We have Kate Bates from Compass Real Estate here with us. And Kate and I, we know each other for a year and a half now, right?
At least,
I
yes.
think so.
Mm-hmm.
And it is an honor to have you. Thanks so much for coming, Kate.
Thank you so much for having me. I really love what you do, so I'm happy to be here.
Well, thank you. So to get started, so the audience get to know you a little bit, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you would like to share.
So as you know, I'm a real estate agent in Darien, Connecticut, and I've been doing it for about 15 years now. You know, the business is great. It's a great business to be in. I sell a beautiful town on the water that my clients love. And all I do all day long is sell houses or have my clients buy houses. So as I've gotten further and further in the business, I've needed incredible people like you to help me sell the houses.
Thank you. So how did you originally get into real estate?
Well, I moved up from Manhattan and was not expecting to be in real estate. I used to trade commodities on a desk with all men. Okay. And the next thing you know, I'm in the suburbs and decided I wanted to start having a family and not deal with the commute. My mother was a real estate agent my whole life in Scarsdale, New York. And it was just a natural progression. I had my license in New York, didn't use it, and then got my license in Connecticut once I started having babies and wanted to contribute to the family. And it just took off from there.
I know we all had really difficult times right now with COVID-19 going on and everything that's happening. And how did that affect you personally with real estate, and how were you able to pivot, or did you need to pivot to continue doing business?
Well, it's actually really funny because real estate in Connecticut, luckily, I think luckily, was essential business. So we've really never stopped. The only difference is that I had my 2 little ones homeschooling, which was a little crazy and hectic because my business just kicked up even more so than it normally is. It went from a buyer's market on a dime to a seller's market. So we all had to adjust to that, which was not a bad thing. It just meant that we had very low inventory because the market wasn't, we were just coming into our spring market, just getting going. And then everyone was told to stay home. So, you know, showing houses, you can't have the family there. So we had a little bit of maybe a week or 2 of where we couldn't go in and show houses, and everyone was kind of panicking. And then, you know, New York City got kind of shut down, and people realized that they really wanted to have a backyard, have some fresh air, be able to go out on a walk, not be in an elevator with everyone else in their building, and they just came up in droves. It's been an incredibly good market for this crazy world that we're living in. And everyone has been very respectful. You know, after a few weeks, our sellers were okay with people coming in, masks, gloves, booties. It's crazy. No one was touching anything, all the Clorox wipes, 1 person at a time in the house. So I didn't necessarily have to pivot, and I'm very grateful that my business is doing even better right now. And my sellers are grateful too. So it's all been good. It's just changed from the buyer's market to the seller's market, which put people you know, you would think the brakes would go on, but people were hitting the bid in multiple offer situations.
Did you find a difference in the way you needed to market? And like, I know I've heard a lot of realtors were doing virtual tours. Is that something?
Yes, that was huge. I had to invest in more virtual tours. Obviously, we're normally doing a public open house every single Sunday for all of my listings. My whole team would be out doing that. And then we would show our houses as well to the brokers every Tuesday and Thursday with broker open houses so that they were familiar with the house before they brought their clients. That ended. That's still not allowed. So we had to kind of figure out a better way of marketing online. And that's what we did. I had a great photographer come in and do virtual tours, Matterports, where it's a dollhouse, and like it just was so cool technologically what they were doing. And you know what? It's been fine. It means that the buyer actually has to go see the house with a broker, or not just going to a Sunday open house and taking a look. It gave an urgency to the market for these buyers to immediately make a decision, as opposed to sitting back and watching.
Do you feel technology has us pushed further? I know technology has been coming into the real estate market recently, in the last couple of years extremely. Do you feel it has been a little bit fast forwarded now compared to the progression how it would have been if we didn't have COVID-19?
Yes, I do. I mean, when I first started in the business, isn't that long ago. 15 years ago, we had a binder with pages, and the client would come and we'd sit down and we'd say, let's look at these 5 houses.
Yeah.
15 years later, you become a marketer and advertiser. That's my job now. Like I was just selling houses and negotiating. So that changed very quickly, and then the COVID, really lent some urgency to the technology getting better and better, sharper and sharper, and all the other tools that you kind of needed with like a virtual tour. The house had to look perfect, and the technology has really blown everything kind of into like a totally different world for us.
Yeah. Yeah, and Compass is also...
We're technology driven. Yeah, it was the perfect time for Compass because they recruited me a year ago. I just had my year anniversary with them.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And they're a great company, and they're so on top and like an edgy company that is really working with technology, and a lot of people didn't like that, especially in old school towns. They want to keep it very simple, but you can't compete.
So in your opinion, what is the current state of the real estate market here in Connecticut? And do you have any predictions for the upcoming months?
Yes, my personal predictions for the next couple of months are that we will hold strongly with a strong market, which we are having right now. It's incredible. I mean, everyone is coming out of the city, even if they just want to buy a second home, so they have an option for their kids to go to school if New York City schools don't open. And obviously our entire market is driven by New York. So I feel like we're holding very steady, and depending on the price range of the house, things are going right off the shelf with multiple bids. We haven't seen that in a long time. And then I think as we find out what's going to happen in New York with the shutdown of schools or reopening, it's going to stay very strong. And honestly, I think once this election year is over, come January, February, I think that the economy is going to be super strong, and I think that real estate is going to continue to be really strong. We couldn't be happier. Like, we're all running around with our hair on fire trying to show houses all weekend. I haven't had a day off, literally, I don't know when, mid-March, when my kids got sent home from school. Not one day off. So, and I can't complain, but it's been crazy.
What advice can you give home buyers and home sellers during this time right now?
Well, home buyers, if they're coming up from the city, if they don't have a house that they're already living in, just need to get very focused on what they want and make offers fairly quickly. Nice, clean offers, so get pre-qualified. Work with a good agent, because it is not easy to find houses when there's low inventory, and your agent is going to have the edge on houses that are coming on that nobody knows about before they hit the MLS. So work with somebody who's really, in touch with the market that they're looking in. For sellers, I'm a big believer in negotiating no matter what. So, hold on to your price, but if somebody comes in with a nice, clean offer, negotiate, work with it, and follow it through, because one of the issues we have seen is the difference in your contracts. So our contracts they've been doing some force majeures right in the beginning. If somebody loses their job a week before closing, even if it's a contingent-free contract, they're able to get out of the deal. And that is really scary for a seller. So once again, work with the best people, the best broker, the best mortgage broker, the best attorney, and keep everything be on top of everything, because this is that this world that we're not used to, and different clauses are going into things. Even with rentals, like you have to be careful with short-term rentals. We're seeing a super hot rental market.
Yeah.
People are willing to pay anything for a pool, a tennis court. I haven't heard anyone ask for a tennis court in my entire career in Darien. Nobody wants a tennis court. It's super heavy maintenance, and it's kind of, if you're not a serious tennis player. Tennis court, pool, biggest searches right now.
Wow.
And they will pay a premium because everyone wants their home compound. They don't want to leave their house.
Yeah.
And everyone's working from home. That's another thing with buyers that has changed greatly. It normally was, how far from the train am I? Everything was thinking about getting into Grand Central, and now it isn't, because people are realizing they can work from home for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows when that's going to end, when they're going to have to get back on the train. So things like that have become the unknown for us, but people are much more willing to not be so close to the train anymore, and especially a pool. Number one search item is pool.
Wow. Has staging impacted the way you do business? Has it affected you in terms of any form or shape? What do you think about staging's impact?
Honestly, I think depending on the home, staging is like absolutely necessary. Especially, once again, depending on the home. Some people have their home perfect, right? And then God bless them that they're all set. That doesn't happen often. And especially in vacant homes or new constructions, which I work with a lot, it makes all the difference. And I think you and I had talked about it when you staged Deepwood, that my builder, who are not, they're not the first people who want to spend the extra money staging. They'll fight you, and I've been working with them for a long time. And they finally agreed to stage Deepwood, which was 6,500 square foot brand new house, over $3 million. And one of my builders walked in and said, I will never build a house and not stage it again. Because it just changed everything, gives everyone the vision that they absolutely don't have. And it sold the house, without a doubt, at a great price, a price better than we thought we would get.
How do you see reactions from home buyers when they walk into a staged versus unstaged house?
Oh my gosh, they love it. I love it. I can't believe what you do, because I do not have that talent. But they just are wowed. It's a wow. Even the brokers, when I did my broker open house on Greenleaf, another 7,200 square foot home that had a little edge to it, because Stephanie designed it, and then you came in and staged it, and you kind of all worked together and brought out all the beauty in it. I don't know how you do it, but the brokers are wowed, which means they want to bring their clients. People want to go in there just to see it for ideas for themselves, and then maybe they have a friend who might want to buy it. It drives far more traffic to the home than you would ever have, and it also gets far more looks on the internet. So whether it be Zillow, whether it be my website, people are going to the house because they're in awe. But yeah, I think it's a game changer, complete game changer, staging it, without a doubt, big or small. And I just had you stage an incredible vacant that I never ever thought could look how you made it look. It's kind of really exciting, but it was amazing, and it flew off the shelf in one day, 3 offers, all over ask.
That's great.
That was the staging.
That's great.
Yeah. It was very exciting.
That's good. That's
Another
good.
important thing too is that the pictures. So when we have pictures taken of an empty house, forget it. You may as well not have pictures, because everything looks tiny.
Yeah.
Then when we have the pictures done with a staged home, once again, game changer all day long. It makes people click, and that's what we want. Click, click, click. And the more eyes on it, the more chance we have of selling it.
That's right. Yeah. And that's the whole
That's
purpose
it.
of it.
Yes. And it
And
works.
we all work together as a team to really, it's not just, realtor, stager, and so on, and photographer. It's all a team that we work
100%.
with. I know you're very team-oriented, and I love that about you. And that's really great, because it just gives a completely different dynamic also. And we ourselves see ourselves as marketing partners to you as well, and try whatever we can do as stagers to help generate more traffic as well
Oh, I agree.
to you from our marketing efforts.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, you and I have known each other for a little bit now, and you're there 100%. It's not just you come stage and say, bye, Kate, see you
Yeah.
later, let me know when it sells. You're there, you're taking beautiful, I mean, sometimes better pictures than my own photographers take. And then you're, you know, we're both kind of Instagramming, and you're saying yay, and I'm saying yay, and, you know, our designer, everybody works together. I mean, that's how my clients and I work, and they all think like, how many, did you play a lot of sports when you were young? And I'm like, yeah, I did, you know, but teams work, you know, and if everybody is just working with each other to get like a job done, it's more fun. Everyone's happy and everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. So Kate, thank you so much for coming today. It was such a pleasure having you on our show. And why don't you share also your contact information with our audience so they know how to reach you?
Well, you can contact me on my email, which is kate.bates@compass.com, or my Instagram is @KateKellerBatesRealEstate. I'm the Kate Keller Bates team, and give me a call at 203. The best way to get in touch with me is to text me at 203-554-1143. That's the quickest response right there, especially in a seller's market.
Sounds good. Thank you so much again, Kate.
Thank you, Brigitte.
And for everybody, don't forget to tune in on Friday at 3 p.m. Karina will be hosting trivia game again, BA Trivia, and we are hosting that on Facebook Live. It is at Studio TV BA on Facebook. Don't forget, Friday, 3 p.m. I'll see you soon. Bye.